Hey folks, Digger Daz here. Welcome to back to my channel. Sorry about the light. I've tried all different configurations to film from my kitchen, and we had new lighting put in, so it messed up the way I used to record in here. So this is the best I could do. So sorry for any overshadowing, or if I get uh, bleached out by light, I truly apologize. So bear with me, I forgive for the shoddy picture, but today we're going to talk about home defense. And as a martial artist, it's something I think about all the time. I want to make my home as defendable as possible. And, police will tell you to not confront someone who's broke into your home. Well, sometimes you can't avoid that. Police will tell you to grab your phone and head to a room and lock yourself in that room, usually the bathroom. Well, what if you don't have that opportunity? What if you had to defend yourself right then and there? Now, either the attack will take place in your bedroom or in another part of the house. Now, for me, I think the kitchen is the best place to defend yourself, because that is where most of the nice little sharp objects are. And if you can get to the kitchen and get a hold of that, you have a very good chance of coming out of it alive. And first of all, I want to talk about positioning within your kitchen. In my kitchen, I have two entrances into the kitchen. One off the front door, just behind me, and another one just behind the camera from a living room. So I would want to position myself between the two entrances, so that way I could see them coming from both sides. So I'd want to be right here in the middle, okay, with my back to the sink, and I'm looking up. I'm looking to see where they're coming at. Don't be looking down. Have your head up, because if your head's up, you're looking around. Another thing, when you are trying to come to the kitchen, give yourself a chance to allow your eyes to adjust. And what I mean by that is that at night, and that's when usually most break-ins occur, if you have an intruder in your home, they're going to come in at night. And so if you get up to and investigate, there aren't going to be any lights on. So the best thing to do is sit on the bed for just a second and allow your eyes to adjust to the amount of light that is in the room. If you do that, you'll be able to see just fine. Sure, at first it's going to be dark in the room because you just woke up, but just give yourself a minute to let your eyes adjust and you'll be fine. Once you get to the kitchen and you've made your position, grab for your weapon, and usually the first thing people will go for is a knife. And what I do is I keep a butcher block on the counter full of knives for that reason. I want to be able to come into this kitchen, come right to my spot, grab a weapon, a knife. Now I'm ready to go. Now if I grab a big knife like this one here, a butcher's knife, there's some things I need to remember about the weapon that I'm holding in my hand. One, this is a cutting. This knife is used for cutting. It's not used for stabbing. Okay, so you're going to have a fine, sharp blade and a sharp point. But if you stab someone with this, you're likely, if you push too far into them, it's going to create a vacuum and seal around that blade, and you're not going to be able to pull that blade back out. So if I'm going to use this as my weapon, I'm just going to stab with the tip. I don't want to go all the way in, but I want to do more of a cutting action, okay? That's what this is good for. I do have all kinds of knives. I've got a big bread knife I would go for as well. It's got very sharp teeth on it. You could leave some nasty cuts. But this here is for cutting, not stabbing. Again. But what if I can't get to a knife? What else could I grab for? Well, everybody has that miscellaneous drawer that they keep a bunch of tools in. So I even have a pair of scissors in one of my drawers. Here's 2 pair of scissors. This is a pair of upholstery scissors. These are just utility scissors, okay, or shears, whatever you want to call them. I would really not want to use these in a situation, not because I couldn't do some damage, because you can stab with these. But the thing is if I'm going to be using this as a weapon and I'm getting blood on my hands, these could slip out of my hand and I could hurt myself very badly. So I would rather not use a pair of scissors, but in a pinch, I would if I had to. Screwdrivers are great. Those are a good weapon. Here I have an ice pick. Just an old ice pick. That would be a good weapon as well. I've got box knives. I've got a whole bunch of box knives. That'd be another good weapon to grab. But my favorite weapon out of them all is a hammer. And I keep a ball peen hammer in the house just for that reason. And my reasoning behind a hammer is because with bladed weapons, you run the risk of them slipping out of your hand and cutting yourself. So for me, a hammer is better because 1, it's not going to slip out of my hand. And 2, it's going to break bone. And if you break bone, you're likely not to keep fighting. Because this is going to cause some serious pain. A whole lot more than getting cut. Because you don't feel a cut right away. Sometimes you may not feel it until that adrenaline wears off. So this is an equalizer. You have 2 heads on it. Okay? You have a big head and a little head. The little head could be used for soft targets like the temple. The big head is going to be used for bigger targets like the head, the knees, the feet. Oh yes, elephant toe somebody. You shatter the bone in the foot, they cannot walk. Pretty much the fight's over right there. And if you hit them in the head with this, it's going to knock them out. So, for me, this is a really good weapon. Another thing is you have the butt of the hammer to strike with as well. So, already you've got 1, 2, 3 weapons on this one item. Then, if you grab it like this, you have a 4th item, the whole handle. And as you can see, me just doing the number 1 and 2, I can strike with this weapon. Alright? So this is why I prefer a hammer. And no matter what you grab, be confident in using it. You know, go outside, practice swinging it around until you feel like you've got control over it, because in a fight, you don't want to be unsure of yourself. You know, someone who owns a gun, they're going to go out and practice shooting. Well, if you have a knife or if you have a hammer, you need to do the same thing. You need to feel comfortable picking up any weapon and feel like you can wield it perfectly. Okay, that is very key. And I know I'm going to have haters talking about, well, you can do this, that, or the other. All I want you to do is think about what you can use in your kitchen. Get comfortable with it. Know a little bit about your weapons. And also, think out of the box. Heck, if you really want to get down to it, I could pick up a little knife, pick up a pot lid, and this is cast iron, okay? I could use this as a buckler, a shield. So while I'm defending his attacks with his knife, bat, whatever, I have my weapon as well. I can block, slash. So it may look silly, but at least I'm thinking out of the box. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was somewhat informative for you. I may have missed some things, so, feel free to comment. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. I always say, the more the merrier. And two, I may not know everything, and there may be people out there who know more about this than I do. And I would love to hear your comments. So folks, this is Duga Dash saying do good and deuces. Bye-bye.